I would like very much to thank the mayor, and I would very much like to thank the 42 members in 9 separate subcommittees of this group who began work just exactly 60 days ago on April 3rd. So the work got done pretty quickly.
All 3 departments, each of them, the concerns from the report had more to do with lack of communication, lack of leadership, lack of oversight, and so it would be under your consideration to see if bringing them all together might do that, be more efficient, more chance for communication, and so I am interested in that, so I pose that to my colleagues and to you for consideration.
We didn't, in any of our discussions and in our interviews, that didn't seem to be an issue that needed to be addressed. I think the consensus was that the existing code and the triggers for administrative review versus triggers for planning commission review were not an issue. Except for historic. There was a recommendation that we'll make in our report that gives staff more authority on some types of applications in the historic district.
Let me say this, you need to have the right leadership, because it's difficult to put someone at the helm that doesn't know anything about HR. Then if they don't, how are they going to know whether or not the work that HR is doing, the tools that they're using, or that they might need help with, how are they going to know that? They're not. Same with IT. If you're going to have an IT function under this, you really, and this is my opinion, you need to have somebody that's managed that function also. Having a background in it isn't, I think, as important as the experience over the years, because you learn it over the years. One of the things that these folks at the IT level get hired to do is IT work. Right? So you expect that the people that you have in the hallways have the technical expertise. But a manager can flush out whether or not that's the case. They can see by the performance of those individuals or the things that they're asking for or how they manage their budgets, whether or not they're making any ground on those areas, or whether or not they're performing poorly.
You know, I wanted to get through this transition before we make an announcement on the city manager recommendation. I don't think that there's any surprise that my interest is in being able to nominate the existing manager to that point. I do think, though, when when it comes to the rest of the department heads, I think that that's something that once the appointment is made, if the council supports it, that we would look to him for a recommendation on where to go. So I would imagine here over the next 30 days, you know, that the administration should be set and finalized so we can move forward.
Great.
Thank you.
I think I can assure you that the work wasn't done in vain. As I looked through a lot of this, you know, it reaffirms certainly conversations I've heard from the city councilors and things that they have shared with me they'd like to see from the administration and how we do some of our planning. And it also includes what I've heard out generally around the public of what they'd like to see. So I really feel like you know, throughout this, you really helped point us in a good direction. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor